Yeah. So what we discussed in the last class? Last class discussed about the components, right? So do we, I mean, the order is important or not for the geometry components? Order of the geometry components is important or not?
Yes, it is important.
Others?
Yes, important. The order.
Yeah. So if I place view tree in the starting of the script, will it work or not?
It won't work.
It will work, right? Wherever I keep, no, it will execute in order only, no?
No.
See, I kept view tree here. If I kept view tree here, does it work or not? It will work, right? Because order, what is order, what is nothing but wherever you keep, it will execute based on its requirement. So where tree is the listener part, listener will always sits in the last. So where irrespective of the place you kept here, it will work. Okay. So I got it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Ramakrishna, don't worry, I will cover you for you basic things, right? Whatever you missed it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So now to run a JMeter, we need a APS, right? For the APS, what we did a recording. So if it is web application, we did a recording, correct? But if it is a backend application, then what you will do? We can't record now for the backend application, or if you have the employees or if they have developers providing them only APIs. So let's take example of that is pet store Swagger. Okay. This is our Swagger. Okay, let's say you will be giving APIs like this, either Swagger or either Excel sheet or either PDF. Like say that you have 10 APIs or 5 APIs and this is an input, this is output expected, like that they will give you. Okay, so now in this case, we can't record, we can't use recorder option. So we have to add manually only. Okay, right? How to add manually? So first open the JMeter script. Let's open file, new. Right? So what is the first thing we have to add? So for recorder, what are the components we added here? For the recorder, what are the components we added?
Thread group.
Thread group.
HTTP record.
Not right. We haven't had a step request, no recorder.
Non-test element to record.
To record non-test elements, okay.
Okay.
Other one?
Cookie manager. One more is there.
Header manager.
Yeah, man.
Header manager.
One more.
Listener. View results tree.
Okay. So here we are not using any UI application. That's why we won't be adding recorder.
Recorder. Yes.
Okay. So these are the main component. Okay. So now, if you observe the recorder, it created HTTP request. Correct. Automatically. So now here we will add in the manual HTTP request and we'll do that. Right group, right click. Where can I find HTTP request?
Okay.
Which component?
Sampler.
Sampler. The HTTP request. Right. So now let's go to the first one of the API here. Let's take a simply this find by status API. Okay, so if you are not seeing any URL here, right? If you can try it out, you'll get to know what are the things are. Okay, understood available status, navigate each and every tab. Okay, you see, this is the curl command. You know, guys, curl, what is the curl? Any idea on the curl?
No.
No.
No problem.
Right? So curl is nothing but to hit a REST APIs from the command line. Generally, to hit a API, what you either you need a REST client, right, or either you need a UI to hit the APIs. But using curl is like kind of tool, inbuilt tool, where you can use it like anywhere, like Linux machine, servers, Docker, whatever it is, where we can't install the tools or we can't use the unit, that time use curl. Says that simply hit the command and get the response there working or not. Right? Okay. So here this Swagger is also using in the backend as well. So now we got a request to a complete one. So now we have to just copy and paste in our thing. Okay. So here, so what is the protocol here? I mean, HTTPS or HTTP?
PPS.
So let's go to our script in the protocol section, right? Let's put a HTTP. Next, what is the next server name? So from here, what is server name?
Swagger.io.
No, others.
Petstore.swagger.io.
Petstore.swagger.io is server name. Okay, paste swagger.io. So there is a port number because when I'm using IP, right, then only will a port number. When I'm using the name, like this names, no, then there only no port number. Can here also is no port number, so you can ignore it. No, okay. Now what is the method? What is the method I mentioned? Is mentioned get, and you can see here also get method. Okay, and you can drop down. We have all options available here. You select get. Okay. Now what is the path?
Slash v2 slash v2 slash better.
Okay. So what is the next one? Of course, one is got query parameter. So you can add query parameter here also as it is, or you can add here also. You can say status. Either way it will work. Right? If you write here, you will remove here. If you write there, either way it works. Okay. So now we have to do the name also, right? What one will say get
Status.
You can write based on your recommendations or your. Okay. So then once we're done with the right, first we have to say the script. Save now. Now, what we do is just run the script and we'll check is there any mistakes or not, with listed or not. And we see request, we have to just check whatever it is there on our workplace. So if something is there in the response, we should get. If you observe, the response is here like this, no? This way, but here also it's because it's a text by default. So if you observe what is the format of this JSON. Correct. You guys know, right? What is JSON?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's a one of the representation of the data server easily. Okay. So now to look into this easier way, let's say in text. Here put a JSON. Now we will see all the JSON form. Okay, so now let's add one more request. Okay, let's add. So if you see here, it's called minus h. It says minus h is the thing but header. We haven't had a header, it worked, right? So some of the get calls will work, but sometimes post calls it won't work with the header. Okay, so now if I see what is the header manager position in the common level position, right? Whereas the request is there. It means if I add one more request, this header manager will applicable to other requests also, right?
Correct.
You have 10 requests here, all 10 requests will can use this header manager because it's globally there. So if you have a common headers, you can use here. But sometimes I have explicit request for each and every requirement. Now let's go to some delete one. Delete it won't work for us. Let's do post. So let's take back the ID. Let's take this one. Here also the application JSON only. Okay. So whenever common headers, you can use it. But sometimes the explicit headers, then you have to do is you have to assign the header manager to each request. Understood, right? Now this header manager scope is what is scope is header manager only under this request. So whatever you write the header, let's write header, accept, accept, application, right? So this header scope is this one only. If you have common header, you can put in global level. Otherwise, you can put in each and every request. Okay. So now let's add this post one. Let's give one status. So not found, that it will, but we'll try this. See here, you see minus D. Minus nothing but data. There is no data in here because it's a post call, right? Post and put and delete could be the bodies. Okay, now let's do that for this. Now let's add one more HTTP request. And what is the name? Post update. Okay, yeah. So what is the method here? What is the method?
Post.
Post. Protocol, same now.
HTTPS.
Yes. Server name is also same. Copy. Then now let's go to path. What is the path? Path is /v2 /number. Okay, now we have body, right? Minus D. So simply to copy this body and put as is in our body data. So we have body data option. So whenever you post, put, delete, you can use the body data. Whenever there is a parameters, you can't use parameters now once you kept body data. Either one of them you can use. It's parameters, you can use there. Okay. So now let's add, let's copy this header manager and paste it. Right? Same header. Got error and it could be 405. So we got 405. So we should get 404 now. Why got 405? What is the 415? What is the method of 415 error code? What is the 415? Check in our internet now. What is the 415 error code?
Unsupported file type.
It's because of header, unsupported header. Whenever you're giving a wrong header, you get 415. What is the header for which? Because if you see, we have previous header, but along with it, we have one more type content is also. Did we add this header? No, right? So that's why while copying, you should be very careful to add this header. Now let's copy this header. Telling type to get formula and for control C. Go to our header manager. Add from clipboard. Copy paste it, add from clipboard. So that's why we need to mention explicit header so that we can use custom requirements, right? Now let's see. So I won't clear this one. We'll run the thing. We'll see. Should fail, but you should get 404. See, everyone will think, okay, we're getting 404 means JML script is failing now. In a real time, in the Swagger or a developer side also we're getting 404, then it's okay. Because application itself throwing 404. Right? So people say in JML it's not working. No, it's not like that. In our Swagger, in our postman or our developer machine, it's getting whatever the error we're getting there. If you're getting same error in JMeter, your script is working. There is issue with our application side. Okay. Yeah. Clear, no? So, like this, we have to add manually APIs. What are the APIs? It could be 5, it could be 10, or like that. Okay. Let's take postman. Okay. So generally, developers will be using postman the log, right, for testing it. Okay. So they have the scripts. Okay, they kind of script in the JSON files where anyone can share it and like that. Okay. So if you want to copy your postman scripts to your JMeter, you can use recording again. If your developer, if any other team member using postman, we simply use our JBoot recorder option to get it there. Okay, so let's check how to use that one. So let's use here CM request get call. That is, instead of writing manually this postman script, very easy to write a CM script. I'll put this one as this and let me check it's working or not. Okay, we got some that means our postman script is working. Right. So now what you have to do is you have to go to our settings.
Rati, how come it's work? We're not passing any header, no?
It's get request, no?
Okay.
Post is one or get request.
Okay.
Right now, let's go to our settings. Let's go to proxy. You need to sign on to check the proxy options. Sign in. Okay, so because developers will be using postman, so it's very easy for you to use JMeter scripting. Mm. So, okay. So let me check the setting. Yeah, okay. Here we got proxy. Postman desktop is. Mm. Let me download the thing. Sure. Okay. I'll explain you. Right. So we have a like proxy, right? Okay, got it now. So what we have to do proxy? Simply add custom proxy configuration. So what we will give here? What is in the Firefox browser?
Localhost.
Local.
So first, port, what our port table is running on. Okay, and we have to check both the HTTP and HTTP options. Okay. I'll just go to meta, let's click on send a request. Yeah, what happened? Mm. So download it. So in your office, are you guys using Postman or not? Then we'll discuss much more.
We are using postman.
Others?
Mm.
No, right? Okay. That will quickly finish. Right? Okay. So once you give the proxy settings there, right? Once you click on run, whatever run on JMeter, whatever run on the Postman, from the record you will get it here in the record script. So if you have 10 years in Postman, just record it, you will get it here. That's it done. So you don't have to write manually scripts. Okay, it's clear, right? How to record of our web application, how to record of our web backend services, other only APIs. Okay, so this is very simple. Now let's go to our documentation part. Right. So before starting platform testing, when you discuss enough, first you have to prepare our performance test strategy document. It's very, very important. I will share the sample document. Okay. So this performance test strategy is very, very important. So you should maintain what are going to test and what not going to test in this document. So let's say you will write what is our object of the objective. Then you will write application scope, whatever which pages are testing, what are the APIs, then you will describe your load pattern. Okay, you will be like whether doing concurrent user test or non-concurrent user test, you will be discussing that. Then you will be writing a tool use, and we will be mentioning about environment. Environment will be doing like that. If you have any test cases, no, you will get as a perform test cases document. Okay, and you will mention the risks. The risk is nothing but what we are not covering, what we are covering in the script. Okay. So this is a high-level document. So you should follow the strategy document, right? Without this document, it's not like viable to do that. So it should be there, and you should write whatever. It's not like there is no particular pattern or particular format, but you should mention these things in either one way. And you will get the sign off this using this document only. You'll be adding your manager, your deal reports available. You will check whether it's okay or not. Based on that, you will follow this. Okay, you will be sharing this document to our clients also. So they also know what they haven't done. Everything will be gone through this one. Okay. Yeah. So once our script team execution is done, right? Now we'll add your execution data. How many times you run, how many times you executed, right? How many times you observe the issues. Okay, errors like that you can do. So that we call in the performance test report. Okay, or you can maintain with the performance. Okay, right? Now, so you know, right? What is the response time, throughput, the basics of it?
I think you called threads also, no? How you can configure the thread?
Sorry.
How you can configure the threads? Like we are adding in thread now previously in the script level. How can I be in that like the thread group top?
Right. Yeah, we'll discuss. We'll discuss it once that group properly. Okay. Still in basic mode on J-mat to start familiar, right? Then we'll go to those things. Okay. Yeah, you guys familiar with response time metrics? Discuss in first 2 days of the class. Response time throughput, latency. Because I was checking everything so that we can start a proper thing. Clear, right, everyone? You guys have the idea or not? Response time throughput.
Response time, I'm aware of, but throughput, can you just explain?
Yeah, okay. Others?
Yes, bro. Can you explain the response time? I know that how the request and response time, how we can capturing that one. That throughput can I don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, Tejasvi.
Yeah, got it. But response time once if you explain it will be good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Ramakrishna.
Yeah, I know the throughput, but in detail, I didn't know that throughput
Yeah,
and response time.
Okay, so
Yeah, I know it. It's like capacity of the server. Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. So correct. Wherever you are using your there could be a browser or your mobile app. So let's say I am hitting a login page. So once I hit the login page, after some time I got to my say that login is connected or home page or kind of.
Ravi, your voice is getting disturbed. Can you explain once again?
Sure. Okay, it's clear now?
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Clear. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So let's say client is nothing but a browser or app. Okay, and a server is nothing but whatever server you're hitting. So when you hit a login page, right? When you hit login page, you'll get a response that login is success. It's related to home page kind of. Okay. So when you click on submit button, the login page credentials, till the time you'll see the next page, right? That we call response time, the gap between these two pages. So let's say it's T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. So it means T1's time you triggered, T2 time server has taken, T3 server processed it and get back, starts it, and T4 is the client receives it. So your response time is now T4 minus T1. This is your response time, your total response time. Okay. So we'll be doing with APS only. This is the time, because once you got T4, right, client will take some time to render it, because you by default you will get everything in a raw text. You saw right in JMeter, we'll get everything in raw format and converting HTML. So in the client side means browser will handle the, we have some internal client side functionalities where it will convert your raw to HTML. So that we call rendering time. So that is extra. Okay, as we're comparing with the APS only, we leave with T4 T minus 1. So now server processing time is nothing but
be considered as the response time.
which one?
The rendering time also is included in the response
No,
time?
no, that's not. General response time from server side only. If you say what is your page load time on the client side, then we consider rendering time.
Okay.
Page load time from the client side.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now server has taken some time, and that time is T3 minus T2. That is server processing time. Okay. Now if you see T3 minus T4, what's 3 to T4 is happening? It's like server has started sending a response, your client has to receive. So if your client is taking more time now, due to the network or due to the long distance or due to remote location or due to network speed, so your T4 will increase. I mean, this will increase now. That we call latency. Okay, clear, right? Response time and latency. So here I have to remember latency and response time are important as we're dealing with only API side. Okay, shall I go to throughput topic now?
Latency means server time.
No, the network delay.
Network
Latency is a subpart of your response time. In the T4 T minus, there's 3 minus T4 also there, right?
Yes,
Subpart. So latency subpart is there. Due to your network issues or your configuration, your latency is increasing, your response time also increase.
Okay.
It's a subpart.
Clear.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go to throughput. It's clear now, response time, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So throughput is nothing but your server capacity. Let's say I have A1, A2, okay, A3. So it means suppose it has capacity to handle 1 request per 1 second. It has 5 requests per second. As 10 requests per second. Okay. So whenever we pointed our application to this server, if I send 10 requests, what is the response time? The response time is 10 seconds. Correct? Because in 1 second handling 1 request. So this is my server capacity. Same if I send 10 requests to A2, what will happen? You will get a 2 seconds response time. If you send 10 requests to A3, what is the response time of this 10 request? What is the response time? If I point my application to A3 and I'm hitting 10 requests.
10 seconds.
No. 1 second, no?
Second only, no? 10
One.
requests per second.
In 1 second, how many requests it can handle?
Okay.
10 requests.
Now, how many I'm sending?
10 requests.
10 requests.
So obviously 1 second. So why we got 2 seconds here? Because handling only per second only 5 requests. So first 5 will be handling 1 second, other 5 will be 2 seconds. So why you got 10 seconds? Because it handling one request per 1 second. So response time and throughput are inversely proportional. Got it right? It is a inverse proportional. Na? If your throughput is increasing, what is throughput is increasing? Nothing but throughput is nothing but server capacity is increasing. So then your response should be decrease.
Yes, fast.
Throughput means it's a TPS, no?
Yes, TPS, transactions per second.
Per second.
This number. If I see 10 requests, I'm getting 1 second right here. Suppose if I give 20 requests, then 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
So now if I increase this throughput here from 10 to 20, well, then what will happen? Your response time will be 1 second. So it means if your throughput is increasing, your response time is decreased. It's clear, right? If my server has more capability, it can handle more requests. So my response time will be decreased. So these are the basic parameter to understand while seeing the results, right? Without any server monitoring tool, without logs, anything, you can understand the pattern. You can see whether application is properly working or not. Even though you are increasing the request number, okay, users or request count, if your response time is also increasing, what does it mean? let's take new one. Okay, say I have one user. Okay, let's say take it's one request per second count only, right? In the response time is 1 second. Correct? If I have 10 users, then 10 seconds. If I increase my throughput from 1 to 10, then my response time is 1 second. See, right? If throughput is increasing, your response time decreased. For the same 10 users load. You understood, right? So with this same response time and our throughput, we can get to know whether our application is properly working or not. Let's say you increase your throughput. Let's say 100. So you're expecting you make 100. So in general, what should happen now? What is your response time should be? Should be less than 1, no? It's like 1 by 100 only. Right? Say 0.001. But instead of 0.01, if you see some around 2 again, or again around 1 only. For 10 also is 1, for 100 also is 1 means what is happening? It is not properly handling, right? It is like kind of saturated. For 10, see, for 1 load, you got 10 seconds. For 10 load, you got 1. For 100, it should be less than 1 only.
Is this handled by developer at the time of developing the API?
No, servers. We're deploying servers. So once we start basic testing, right? Basic load testing, then we'll get to know where the issues are.
Okay.
Okay. At that time, we'll tell developer saying that, okay, these are the issues. What is the possible waste of increasing?
Okay.
Okay. And let's assume that one server throughput is fixed. Let's say our server throughput is fixed. It handles only 1 request per second. Okay. If it is a fixed one, so now based on this number, this your users and response time will change now. It's not easy that we can't change the server to 1 request per second, 10 or 100 like that. Okay. So don't worry. We'll explain graphs with real data, then you can understand much throughput.
Okay.
But clear, right? Basic idea of the throughput.
Okay.
Okay.
Throughput is nothing but TPS, right? Final transaction per second.
Yes, units are TPS. And for response time, units are millisecond.
Milliseconds.
Or seconds. But by default, we'll be having a milliseconds. Start from.
Yes.
If you point TPS into 60, it's a transaction per minute. Okay. Right? Yeah. No. Right. Okay. Now let's discuss. So we discussed the components, we discussed the recording, we discussed the manual APIs, right? Yeah. So let's discuss let's discuss about the pattern load design. Okay, load design or pattern. So when you're discussing with a client, right? As in I told you right in starting of the classes, if our client knows what is the issues of the performance testing, okay, or if client knows where the problem is, right? In that case, he can suggest, okay, I have this much of issue, I need to do like this. Right? A secondary use case is if the client doesn't know. He's a very new and he doesn't know anything about performance testing. At the time, we have to suggest. Right? So in second case or first case, our duty is we have to tell what we are offering in our current existing projects, what we can do. Right? So let's take in our project or in a company, you're using JMeter, load, and we have other licenses also. So we'll say that we have this much of tools in our project based on our application requirement, we'll be choosing the tool. Or if client suggests he want to test with this much of tool only, then we can use whatever tool is possible. So once you decide a tool, then we have to decide a load pattern or design. I mean, what type of load test you want. Right? In the day 2, we discussed that load testing, like stress testing, load testing, volume testing, right? Latency, memory testing, kind of these things. So at that we have to tell him. So generally we'll be having the first one is a non-concurrent users. Non-concurrent load. It means nothing but we'll be just simply hitting the number of users in a given set of time. This is called very simple load test. Means suppose I have 100 user list, right? I will hit 100 users will come, they will hit the application and they'll done the job. That's what we call non-concurrent load. You can't expect to be concurrent. You know, right? What is the difference between concurrency and non-concurrency first? Hello?
Simultaneous.
Yes, yeah, correct. So non-concurrent nothing but it's not kind of non-simultaneous. Like it's suppose you can't expect everyone should be same time. Each person should be here each in a different way. So let's take concurrent nothing but suppose let's say concurrency. It means suppose in a given minute, I want 100 users means all 100 users should be running the application in a particular 1 minute. In a span of 1 minute, at any time you see there will be 100 users in the application. That we call concurrency. Whereas in non-concurrent means you can't expect the number there. It could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 0, it could be 1 like that. That's non-concurrency. Concurrency nothing but we have duration. In this particular duration, you will see all 100. Let's take the IRCTC, right? Which we use in our book the train tickets in railways. So what happened at Tatkal time around 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. So bunch of people will come and will hit the application. See, if you take 1 hour, 1 hour of normal time and 1 hour may people will come and go, they book the tickets. That's a one type of load test. Correct. But other type is in the Tatkal time, more people will come at same time. Kind of stress testing, right? So that's we call concurrency testing, concurrency load. You understand the difference? In a span of 1 hour time, normal people will come like around some. So let's say in first 5 minutes, go to 5 users, next to be 1 user, next 5 will 10, next 20, like that. The pattern will change up and down. Users count will up and down throughout hour. But in the concurrency, I'm expecting all users should be same.
Okay, it's like a traffic.
Yeah, you can kind of say that. So we have to explain the client what this is the first you have to decide whether you want to do non-concurrency load or concurrency load. Okay, if he says okay, these are the good, but still his application is very complex, then at the time you want to say I want to do first 5 users for 5 minutes, next 10 users in next 10, that's 5. Like you want to design that users count also. In that case, we'll be using step up, right? Or ultimate kind of load, step up load. It means each step has each different count. That's one of the load pattern. So these are 3 important load patterns. For these 3, we have 3 different thread groups in our JMeter to handle this much of load. Okay, one more other load is suppose if you take any big companies, like banking companies, there could be one gateway. Even though you have 100 of projects of individual company, individual URLs, individual servers, they might be talking to one common gateway server. Okay, in that case, there is a count of, there is a threshold on the server because all the projects, suppose you have 100 projects, right? If 10 projects are consuming that gateway server, other 90 can't use it. Correct? You understood, right? What I'm explaining here. So in that case, it should be limited. It should be available to each and every project. So that's where they will control our transactions. They control request. They will say one project only they will handle 5 requests in a second. Suresh, could we mute? Okay, 5 requests in a second. They will say that suppose if one project sending 10 requests, they won't allow it. That gateway server will simply deny the request. Because if they consume the more resources, what about other projects? Understood, right? Kind of like controlling the server based on request. So here, if you want to test it in this way, you have to use our transactions load. You can say throughput load, you can say. kind of throughput load, because I want to hit the load test using how many requests per second. It's not based on the user. Suppose I give 100 users, 1 lakh user, 2 lakh, 1,000 or whatever. I want to send only in 1 second. I want to send only 5 requests. Okay. So this type was also one of the load design. So either of these are the 4 are common load designs, but it will change. But these are basic. From this 4 load designs only, you can get a sub request, sub designs. Okay, so we have a JMeter components to do these things directly.
Ravi, that step up and ramp up both are same.
No, this is a name only.
Okay.
Yeah. It's clear, right? Because you have to explain these things. Or if you're planning for interview, in the interview also they will ask. If the client knows what you have to do, the client doesn't know how to explain, how to convince him this is the requirement, this is a use case. Okay.
So one doubt I have, like
Yeah.
in step upload, we'll be giving some time intervals kind of thing.
Yes, we will giving the users and time limit.
Okay.
So 5 minutes for 10 users, 20 minutes, like that. We'll give the numbers.
Okay. So in non-concurrent load, we'll not have that. Like only for
No, we'll
one
have only
person,
just number on users.
only
Simple
number.
users. In the concurrency, we'll give the duration and users.
Okay.
Duration is important in the concurrency. Yes. So in this throughput kind of load, we'll give the number. I mean, we'll try to get this number in 1 second or 10 request kind of that. We have that. We'll give that number there. Then it will try to use that one.
Okay.
Okay. So let me stop recording.